Warrior with the hands, that's what I'm all about. Hunger in my eyes, vengeance in my mouth. They don't want no altercation. Situation gon' get critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways. Pay back in every breath, plus revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark, and I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blazing in the season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I'm feeding. And I been walking with them angels, so I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas barely breathing, criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak. Nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas baby fat soft. Better bear witness or back off. I be ripping shit like sackcloth. Dumb dogs all barked out. My hymen say I cup full. No room for emotion, so I pour my heart out. This road hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't UPK, then they in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down to suffer. Flow so deep, it drown a motherfucker. He say he in the truth, oh yeah? Well, this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No rank me, no head, and I ain't leaving this body to live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm UPK, you tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing, gotta execute me. Cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking, watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart, and Alana, she so beautiful, but they ain't like other babies, and they daddy far from usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about this shit I used to do in that 98 Navy, the tan leather seats. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter, the lies are sweet. Tried everything, I guess me and Johanna had to meet. Now I make the blind see, and I make the dead speak. And teach both my little girls the day that they lie with a man, they better bring their bloody bed sheets. Chaos match the time, this Glock match my handpiece. And I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house. Or take a check, 144 in that black trench on some hitman shit. Shit call me 47, praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame, ask why, tell them I'm loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign, Lord to the king. I want that straight lane to break the chain. Lord to the king, the devils can't have me, bitch. I'm Lord to the king. That's right.
Yeah. UPK shit, man. One West. Hey. I'm a UPK nigga, I'm stuck in my ways. That's on them, letting cowards fill up they ranks. Goddamn, lost tribes got them following waves. Loyalty a lifestyle, nigga, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm a saint, no New Orleans, it's going up. Next spot, we at the B&B. I'm turned up, I'll pull up in the SRT. Burning rubber, hey, UPK shit. Look, met her at the club, told her pull up to the lobby. She know I'm in the coat, we're all black, no Illuminati. This my other half shit, I can't move without it. These my motherfucking brothers, yeah, what I'm gonna do without them, yeah. If it's beef, I can't wait to sink my teeth in. Niggas going overboard, they off the deep end. Why you tripping off that hoe? That's some weak shit. Told him put me in the game cause I love defense. Yeah, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Yeah, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, and she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Ay, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, and she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, I ain't gotta settle, I got options, ma. No, I stand on business, my name not Tazar. I'll pop you with this pocket rock. Feed a nigga shells like a taco truck. Hey, this bitch got sound effects, it go pew pew pew. I I ain't tripping on no drink, got bottles in the room. I'm in Durham, North Carolina, bitch, it's 12 a.m. Look at them, they ain't none of us, and we ain't them. I told him, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, ayy, let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Ayy, bounce out, let my fringes swing, yeah. I'm a dog, ayy, she say she find me interesting, yeah. Want me to call, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, ayy, let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Ayy, bounce out, let my fringes swing, yeah. I'm a dog, ayy, she say she find me interesting. Want me to call, yeah. UPK shit, man, you already know what it is. It's the 55th annual Passover, man, turn up. We gon' do this shit the UPK way, not the other way. You hear me?
I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, it's an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. Who took that open blood? Do you know I'm gon' get active with ya? Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening. Is it effective? If revenge was a woman, I scope that bitch like Jack the Ripper. War, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do baby, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he said something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Three shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and feed you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow side, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
We talking about practice, not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we talking about practice.
Back row.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere of and they wonder it's not me. It's beef, we strut a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach him with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'm a go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They brain got the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this, nigga, I eat bars and drink flows. Thinking you woke into your third eye, peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game, these niggas lame, they bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him running, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Laughing these niggas once again and I ain't break a sweat. Number one at everything I do, that's why I'm one west. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this janitor with the mop stick. You gon' need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10 and I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I'll switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7" is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk, I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl, I'm talking about another gun. Head now, hey look, it is what it is now. We don't fuck with the house niggas, we burn the crib now. I'm ahead now, and I hope they can hear now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga, I don't fear clowns. Silences make it sound like raindrop, that's a quiet storm. Get the job done in the view or get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walking this bitch ready for war, I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flex, that's why I am armed. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga, I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is, I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is, I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is, I'm not 2 and I'm not 3.
Let's just like this. Which one do I press now?
Garbage guitar.
Show me ISUPK. All right, this is the ISUPK Wednesday history class. Also, check out Commanding General Johanna's radio show, Monday, 2 a.m. UK time. We have classes here, Monday through Friday. We have Monday, we have the law class, Tuesday, the brotherhood, Wednesday, the history, Thursday, the scripture breakdown, Friday, the Lashron Kodash, and the radio show at 9 p.m. called On the Ends. Saturday, we have the Sabbath service also. So we've got a ton of things going on in the school. The next high holy day is the Passover, which is in Atlanta. So this will be in Atlanta, Georgia, April 12th. So we're getting ready to go on down to that. And today we're going to go into a slave master that left his diary behind. So he left behind his diary. So we're going to go into his diary and see what was left behind and what kind of things was going on. Because what you have to remember is every slave master was committing crimes against our people, but a lot of them didn't document it, so you don't know what happened. But the ones that they did leave behind, all of them are all gruesome and horrible. And for them to document it so freely shows that it was normal amongst the slave masters to do these things. So a ton of them have left records behind. And these records that they've left behind, they try not to sell them. So what you'll find is they put the price up on Amazon, they change the name, they don't give you the proper stuff. They try and tell you, oh yeah, that back then it was normal. So they'll tell you, oh, back then it was normal. So we're gonna go into a few things. We're gonna also any questions, just put them in the chat. Let me get my first slide. Yes, Lucky, go ahead, Hakan.
Kalwan Khan. So like you said, if I may, this sounds like a real interesting topic from the flip side of the other, from the actual slave. So the short-lived missionary period.
Hold on, I'm gonna skip this slide. This slide was about when the Europeans went to Africa and spoke. Actually, read it. Actually, we'll get it.
Khan, the short-lived missionary period at the beginning of the 16th century.
So the 16th century is anything from 1501 to 1599. So that'll be the 16th century. Go ahead.
Khan also left its mark on the early history of Benin.
So it left its early on Benin. So Benin is like a place where they would take slaves from. Go ahead.
Although the Oba by no means intended to allow himself to be baptized out of religious favor.
Oba was like, for them Hamites, this would be like their king or their ruler. So they would call him an Oba. And now the Christians was trying to baptize him into Christianity. Go ahead.
Khan. He did request that Portugal send missionaries who actually came. Apparently, his sentiments had more to do with making himself seem more powerful in the eyes of his neighbors. At that time,
they wanted him to become Christian, why? So they could be all on one accord. So now they wanted him to become Christian. So why? The Christians and the Africans could both be of one religion and both trade slaves back and forth with no problem in the name of the Jesus that they believe in. So go ahead, sis. Oh, we're reading from a book it's called The Benin Bronzes. So this is a history book that we're reading. Go ahead, Hakia.
Karawan Khan. At the time of Salakia, at that time, the Oba was being severely harassed by his enemies, and he hoped to have the same success as did the
he was being harassed by his enemies because in Africa weren't one place like people think it is. Before these things was every African nation was their own people, and then it got the name Africa in I want to say the 17th century. I don't believe it got the name Africa in the 17th century, but before that everybody was separate. So when people say we're African, hold on, I should be able to pull it up. If I type in when did Africa get its name, it should say 17th century. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm going to type this up there.
I'm gonna have a look for you. Where's my phone? Wasn't it after Leo Cyprico Africanus, other one?
Yeah, but it didn't get its name till way after that.
Okay.
So it was named. It was named way after that. Bear with me.
Can't.
How do I make? I think I got it, but how do I make this? How do I make this bigger here?
Oh, you can.
17th century, other one. I've got it here. I can read it for you if you want.
I got it. Hold on one second. I'm trying to find a way to.
Fine.
I just the screen. I don't understand what. Oh, why did you do that? Yeah, go ahead.
The word Africa came into existence in the late 17th century.
It came into existence in the late 17th century. Go ahead.
Initially, it was used to only refer to the northern part of the continent.
It was used to refer to only the northern part of the continent. So now I can see if you can find me the northern part of the African continent. Let's see if we can find what the northern part of the African continent is. So it now says the word Africa came into existence in the late 17th century. Initially, it was used to only refer to the northern part of the continent around the time.
So it says, sir, the UN sub-region of North Africa consists of 7 countries at the northernmost part of the continent. So it's Algeria, Egypt, Libya, Morocco, Sudan, Tunisia, and Western Sahara.
So you slaves that was taken from West Africa, technically you're not African, because they used to refer to the northern part, not all of Africa. So where was black people taken from? West Africa, man. And before this had its name, all these lands was just named after the land or people who ruled the land. And then what happened? The oppressor colonized it and just gave it a name and engulfed all of it. So when people say, "Oh, go back to Africa," or "I'm going back to Africa," where in Africa are you going? And where was you from before the 17th century?
That's right.
Right.
Before the 17th century, where was you from in this place called Africa? Now, before it was called Africa, all right, then if you're from Africa, what did your ancestors, who you say you come from, call that land before the 17th century? And then you ask black people these questions, they don't have the answer. It's like a man that's from England, you telling him saying to you, "I'm going to live back in Europe." Where in Europe, man? Europe there's loads of lands in Europe. When people say, "Oh yeah, I'm going," because we originally from Africa. Where in Africa?
Right.
And they can't tell you. Whenever someone tells me, "Yeah, the African," straight away I know, yeah, you ain't no real African, man. Probably an Israelite that thinks you're from Africa. Go ahead.
And if I may just add to that point there, sir. Normally when you ask Africans, "Are you African?" they'll say Ghana or Nigerian or Sudan or whichever country they're from, the continent they're from. They won't never say I'm African. They'll say the actual continent, sir. Salakia.
Exactly. They'll tell you, yeah, I'm from Ghana and I'm Ashanti. They'll tell you where they're from in Ghana, what tribe they're from in Ghana. They'll tell you, man. Whereas with us, we just say, yo, we're African. Put 10 black men in a room. One's going to tell you he's from Ethiopia. One's going to tell you he's from Gambia. One's going to tell you he's from Nigeria. One's going to tell you he's from Ghana. And none of you are from there, man. There's a reason why you don't know where you're from, because obviously you've been enslaved by this oppressor.
There was a little bit more, sir, on that.
Oh, there's more.
There was just a little bit.
Hold on, let me go back to it.
Go on, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Khan. Around that time, the continent had been colonized, and the Europeans ruled over its people as slaves.
And the Europeans ruled over its people, man. Them Europeans was ruling over tons of people. Like there's a book you can get. It's called what's it called now? It's called The Scramble for Africa. It's called The Scramble for Africa. I believe it goes into the Berlin Conference, where they carved up Africa. They carved it all up and decided which country was getting what. So then what you'll find out is from that meeting that they had, which is called, hold on, let me pull up that. The Berlin Conference. So when you look up the Berlin Conference, they carved it all up, and that's why Africa is how it is now, with all these different Edomite nations ruling. Why do you think some Africans speak German, some speak French, some speak English? Because now imagine the Africans sold us and thought, yeah, they're never gonna come, they're never gonna go and get them. They sold us. And then after slavery was abolished, what did they go and do? They went and robbed the Africans anyway. They went and carved up Africa anyway. And there's a thing called the Berlin Conference. Let me see. One day I need to do a whole class on it, to be fair. So go ahead, Hakian.
Khan, the Berlin Conference of the 1884 to 1885s was a meeting of colonial powers.
See, and it says it was a meeting of colonial powers, man. Meaning all the powerful nations. What you'll find out is, you see at that meeting, when you look at Revelations and the seven-headed dragon, you'll see that all of those nations was at this conference, man. Mm-hmm. You'll see that they're the same people, man, that the Bible's speaking about in Revelations. Go ahead.
Khan. That concluded with the signing of General Act of Berlin, an agreement regulating European colonization.
An agreement regulating European colonization. Go ahead.
And trade in Africa.
Exactly. These Africans thought you was going to sell us and you're going to be have peace. Nah, man. After slavery was abolished, now they then made another way. All right, let's colonize Africa so we can make some money out of it. That's what they did, man. And why do you think South Africans speak English? When you look at Africa, they got the apartheid. They had I can't remember something apartheid. So now when you look at South Africa now, you got the poor Africans on the right hand side and the rich South Africans on the left. And there's like a road in between. One's the rich part, one's the slums. And we shouldn't feel sorry for them because they didn't feel sorry for us. Go ahead.
Right. Khan. And trade in Africa during the new imperialism period.
And now Africans always say, the white man robbed all our gold. He robbed all our gold. Listen, man, they should say nothing. They sold us, man. They sold us. If anything, we should be saying, well, that's your punishment for selling us, man. That's right. That's what we should be saying to them. Hold on, let me see if we can script down. General Act. Yeah, go ahead. Give me from the General Act.
Khan. The General Act of Berlin can be seen as the formalization of the Scramble for Africa.
It's actually a good book. You know? It's a long book, but it's a good book. Go ahead.
Khan, that was already in full swing. The conference contributed to ushering in a period of heightened colonial activity by the European powers.
Go ahead.
Khan, and is sometimes cited as being responsible for the carved up of Africa.
And now that's how they carved it up. So they had this conference in Berlin and they all came together and decided, yo, how are we going to carve up Africa? And what you'll find out is Every time we have wars and world wars, it's only when these colonial powers fight against each other. Like there'll never be a world war because England wants to invade Africa. All the other European countries don't care about you invading Africa. They just get mad when European countries invade other European countries because they know they all have weapons and they all have power. So that makes it world war. Now, when they invade us, it don't mean nothing to the rest of the colonial powers because they don't look at us like we ain't even a power to them. Every other nation ain't a power to them. The only powers that they are is the European powers. Go ahead. Hold on one second. Let me skip now.
And those, like you said, those European powers, if I may, the power was given from the Most High, wasn't it? When the Lord said, Esau shall rule by the sword, right?
Yep.
God.
That's exactly what it does. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Bear with me. Hold on. Yeah, so these are the countries. Go ahead. Just read the countries that from the state.
Germany, Austria, Hungary, International Congo Society, Spain, Denmark, United States, France, United Kingdom, Italy, Netherlands, Portugal, Russia, Sweden, Norway, Ottoman Empire.
Now, what you'll find is a lot of those countries that attended that Berlin conference is those same countries that are a part of that seven-headed dragon. What you'll see more than 7 countries here because why? A lot of these countries came out of other countries. So like you'll see like America came out of the United Kingdom. So America came out of the United Kingdom, so that's the little horn. And then also you'll have I believe Netherlands came out of Germany or Holland.
No, Germany.
Was it Germany? Yeah, Netherlands came out of Germany. So now you would have Germany. Germany's home would be the Netherlands and so forth. So all these other countries that you're seeing, all these new countries that we're seeing, they all came out of some of these countries. So what you will have is like countries like Poland would be in Germany, if you get what I mean, be a part of Germany. And then once Germany loses a war, part of the treaty would be give Poland its independence. And then Poland now becomes an independent country. So now they make a difference between Polish people and German people now. Whereas from what I remember, Polish people was inside Germany from what I remember. I'm sure Poland came out of Germany. Hold on, let me check. If my geography is on point, I'm sure they did. Yeah, if did Poland come out of Germany? I'm sure it did. And after one of the wars, that to sign the treaty and they had to give Poland.
I think it was Ukraine come out of Germany, you know.
I can't remember which one it was. But I know Poland had something to do with Germany. Either Germany colonized them or something. Germany done something to them. And then what happened is certain treaties were signed so that to free up some of the countries, and then they become an independent state, and then before you know it, this becomes a whole new country. So if you look at old maps, you'll see that on an old map, all these lands ain't on an old map. You'll see over time as the maps change, you'll see, hold on, this didn't say you'd see this didn't say Netherlands before, it said something else. And then over time, you'll see that Holland, what did Holland come out of as well? One of them came out of something.
So like
go ahead.
Yeah, if I may, so I got here Poland's emergence from German control happened primarily after. Sorry, no, that's wrong. Salakia.
Oh, you're on about when Germany colonized them, innit? And then that to free them up.
Yeah. Kind of, it's a different period.
That to free them because part of the treaty. Yeah. Ira said Holland is Netherlands. Yeah, it's the same thing. Holland is Netherlands. Yeah. I always get them two wrong. I've been getting them two wrong forever. But Slacky, go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, the short-lived missionary period at the beginning of the 16th century also left its mark on the early history of Benin. Although Oba by no means intended to allow himself to be baptized out of religious favor, he did request that Portugal send missionaries who actually came. apparently his sentiments had more to do with making himself seem more powerful. It's like he said, this is the first one, you know. This is the first slide.
Oh yeah, well, I think it was. Hold on, I think it was on that one. Actually, we can skip that. But this right here is a picture of what the soldiers for. So right here, you have the Manila. I believe we had it in the school somewhere. Right. It wasn't here somewhere. I know seen it the other day.
That's a hammer. That's a hammer or one of us, sir?
No, that right there is just a statue. That's just.
Oh,
that right there is just a depiction. That would be a Hamite with. Oh, here it is. That would be a Hamite. Oh,
look like one still.
If you look in his hand is the bronzes right there. So if you look there, that's the bronzes right there. By the Manila. And then this is how it looks. So I can put that in front of the camera. This is how it looks. So that's actually what slaves were sold for. So the side of that, and then that was currency. So then that was their money. So different size bangles would be different size money. Then over time, towards the end of slavery, once this never meant nothing no more, they melted it down and turned it into what you know as the Benin bronzes. So when you look up the Benin bronzes, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. So now the melted down what they sold us for things like this. Hold on. So these are the Benin bronzes right here. So that's them right there. These ones are coming up cheap, but some of them are worth millions of pounds.
Millions?
Yeah, millions of pounds, man. This is some of them are worth millions of pounds. Hold on, let me type in Benin bronzes prices. Hold on.
Wow.
So here is the 10 million. Let me see if it shows it. The art dealer, the 10 million Benin bronze in the Holocaust.
Why Benin bronze cost so much?
Because this is what Africans used to love. So this is something that they sculpted, and this is what they used to love. So the reason why they had these is because they sold slaves, and with that money, this is what they made. So they made these bronzes, and then I want to say in the 1800s, I want to say the British took them. So if you want to see the Benin bronzes now, you go look in the British Library, the British Museum.
Wow.
So now Africans are begging back for the Benin bronzes. They want them back. The white man said to them, yo, you can rent them off us, but you need to give us them back.
Wow.
So they told them, you can rent them off us, but you need to give us them back. And I hope the white man never gives them these Benin bronzes. Because they got these off of selling us. So they got these off of selling Israelites. So that's how they got these bronzes.
So like you, sir. So is that why one of the reasons why they still see us as damn property? Because they still got the currency for us.
Who, the Hamites?
No, the yeah, actually, it's the Edomites stole it from the Hamites, right?
Yeah.
So is that one of the reasons why?
No, because the Edomites don't care that they melted these down into statue. They just want the statues because they know the statues are worth money. They just know that the statues are worth money, and they know that they're better than the Africans. So to the Africans, with these statues, I believe some of them started to worship some of these statues. So that's why they cost so much money. Some of them worship them, believing some of them would bring them good luck and so forth.
Wow.
So they would worship these statues. Hold on, there's the next one. Let me put it up. I think
so that little thing that you just showed me there, the little currency you just showed on camera. That's what they burnt. That's what they burnt into there.
Yes. So they burnt those down and molded them and made the bronzes, and then that's how you get the Benin bronzes. There's one of them that's expensive. But you know what? All of these things are in the British Museum. Listen, I keep saying it, but one day I will go to the British Museum. I'm going there one of these weeks, maybe before Passover, maybe after. Definitely going.
When you're ready, other one. When you're ready.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go. What I might need is the camera with the glasses. So I might get the glass camera, and then have another camera, and then that way we can get some proper footage. Because listen, you see, if I go to that museum, we're making about 50 different videos because there's about 50 different books in there where you can have a million different topics. You just cover this section, then this section. I'm definitely gonna go one of the days.
You know what? I'm down here, and I ain't even done that. You know, I should have gone down there a long time. You know.
Nah, man, nah. That's the lucky. That's my mission. I'll pull a rank on that one.
All right.
It's been my dream to go to the museum.
Can't.
A dream. Go ahead. Let me get this one.
Khan. And those plantations needed ever more Africans.
So now they call them Africans, but we know they're not Africans. They're Israelites. Go ahead.
John Newton was then one of many European anxious to provide Africans for the plantation of the Americas.
Sis, you know who John Newton is?
Yeah.
You've heard the song Amazing Grace. So it's him so he was a slave master. And I believe I believe he has the most famous hymn, Amazing Grace. Hold on a minute. Yeah, let me see if I can play it. We won't get flagged, will we?
What's it play? What's the lyrics?
Let's play it. Let me play it for like a second. I don't think we'll get. Hopefully we don't get flagged. So this is the song for anyone that don't know. Or do I just play it off my phone? Is that because that way it won't go through YouTube? Yeah. Let me go do it off my phone because that way. Listen, we just came off a band. I'm trying to go become one. Say that again. Yeah. So this is. Hold on. Let me see if it's going to give me the right one. I think this has got his version in there. Yeah. So this is John Newton. This is everybody's grandma's favorite hymn. This is everyone's grandma's favorite, especially if your grandma's Jamaican.
Therefore.
What don't you sing on there? Hold on, that's not giving me the words. Bear with me. Let me just find anyway. It's got the words. Hold on. Might give me the words.
That sounds so dead to when black people sing.
Why is it not giving me the words?
Let's go and find it.
Hold on, let me try. Hold on. No, that's not his version. Well, there's so much covers of it that you can't even find his one. Hold on, let me see if I can type in original. This is the best I can find, but this is it. Obviously, this ain't his version. This is just a cover of it, though. So he's singing about Amazing Grace, and we was slaves in chains and all of those things. And this man singing these songs, Amazing Grace, and he's gonna lie to you and tell you in his journal that I was an evil man back in the days, and slavery was wrong, and to say he helped abolish slavery. The reason John Newton helped abolish slavery is because he wasn't getting paid off it no more. What you need to realize is Edomites are haters, man. Listen, this is what you'll find is, like, when they wanted to abolish slavery and they done a vote, it was the poor ones that couldn't afford slaves that said, yeah, abolish slavery. The reason they said that is why? Because they couldn't afford slaves. Now, if they could afford it, then they would have been for slavery. So they wanted it abolished. Why? Because they couldn't afford the slaves, so it weren't benefiting them. But the people who it was benefiting, they was all for slavery. That's lucky. Go ahead, Hakim.
Karawan Khan. This demand for Africans created sharp competition among traders of the African coast.
So now those traders, and they had ships everywhere, and everybody wanted the slaves to take them to their plantation because they knew, pull it this way, it's like a job fair. Let's say someone says we're giving out free money. Everybody's going to be there. All these slave masters was there, and the free money was us, man. Because they know they're going to make money off us once they put us on that plantation. Go ahead.
Right. And knowing how to trade effectively was an enormous advantage. It was perhaps this quality that Manesti saw in the young John Newton. But the most difficult of all tasks was maintaining order and control on board the ship itself, of knowing how to keep Africans penned below.
So we know those Israelites, to call them that because they took them from Africa. Go ahead.
In peaceable and reasonably healthy conditions before finally preparing them for sale to planters in the Americas.
And John Newton was a part of all of that. Go ahead.
Karawan Khan. At its simplest, it was the exercise in brute control. Salakia. At its simplest, it was an exercise in brute control, an intimidating regime designed to threaten and overawe the Africans, and to preserve as many as possible from the dangers and threats.
Sorry, so this man talking about how gracious the God is, amazing grace. He ain't been gracious to us.
Exactly. Slaves at the bottom.
Say us how good his God is. Why is God good to us?
Exactly. Why the slaves at the bottom of the ship dying, and his making these songs, and his having Bible study on top of the deck, while Israelites was dying beneath the deck, and then they want to give us that same religion that they have, which is insane. Go ahead, Mikhail.
Can't, sir. And to preserve as many as possible from the dangers and threats, and the threat epidemic, endemic on all slave ships.
And it's talking about slave ships, and then hold that there, but get me Deuteronomy 28 and 68, Hakian. Oh no, it's like Captain Crawford's going to get it. So now it's talking about slave ships, and now slave ships is in the Bible, man.
That's right.
So if you want to know who the slaves are, just read Deuteronomy 28 and start to wonder, who could these people be? And then you look up history, and then history will let you know, okay, well, that history ties in with the Bible. So that's talking about slave ships. And Deuteronomy 28 says this. Okay, go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
And Egypt is a Greek word for bondage. Egypt means slavery. Shall be brought into Egypt again with ships. And that's where we was, man.
That's right.
We was being brought into Egypt with ships, meaning we came out of one slavery, which was in Egypt, and now we're going back into Egypt, which is slavery, with ships. So Egypt means slavery, and that's where we went, man, with ships. And they're here talking about slave ships and selling people on slave ships, which ties in exactly with the Bible. And the Bible was written way before this happened.
That's right.
So how do people say the Bible is not true? The Bible talked about us going into slavery with ships.
Right.
That's what happened. That's exactly what happened with us, man. Listen, before King James, listen, King James translation of the Bible was written before we started going to slavery on them slave ships, man. So people can't try and lie and say King James. What did they say? King James, pull it in there. Say King James, pull it in there. Listen, man, you can look at the other English versions of the Bible before King James, which should be the Tinsdale Bible, the Wycliffe Bible, I think the Great Bible. You can look up those. You can look up Jerome's something Vulgate, Latin Vulgate. You'll see the same thing. Slaki, go ahead.
Cut on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt to gain with ships. And that's how we ended up going into slavery, with ships. So go back to the history again, Hakayan.
An intimidating regime designed to threaten and overawe the Africans and to preserve as many as possible from the dangers and threat epidemic or endemic on all slave ships.
Go ahead.
John Newton was to prove himself as brutal and severe a master
a master. So lucky, can you get me Deuteronomy 28 and wait, it says a fierce countenance. So now it says John Newton. It says John Newton was brutal and fierce as anyone. And then if you watched the class about 2-3 weeks ago when we went into a slave's journal, he said the white man was fierce and brutal. So now we're finding out who these two nations are. Now we're finding out who these two nations are. From the brother's journal, we found out that his slave masters was brutal. And now from this side, we're finding out that the slave master was brutal. Right. In Equiano's journal, he said the Edomites was brutal. And now this here, they're letting you know that John Newton was brutal. So it's letting you know the same thing the slave said is the same thing the slave master was doing.
Right.
Like when you get a slave's diary and the slave master's diary, you'll realize that one's in heaven and one's in hell. The slave master's diary is a diary of heaven. The slave master's diary is a diary of hell, which lets you know that heaven and hell is on earth, man. Right. Depending on who you are and what journal you read. Now, if you're a white man and you read John Newton and these lots journals, that's heaven for you because that's your people. Now, if you're the children of slave and you read Equiano's diary of how he was kidnapped, taken away from his family, that's hell for us, man. We should help you understand that heaven and hell is conditions on earth. That's like you word.
I'm not sure if I heard what you read. Did he say that John Newton was one of the most fierce?
Exactly.
The same man that wrote this gospel that everyone likes. Not only was a slave, was one of the most fierce.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Meaning, while he's singing Amazing Grace behind closed doors, that grace ain't for you, man. He ain't being amazing to you. That right there is for his people. It's not for us. Why? Because we in hell at that time, man. And him and his people are in heaven. Imagine he could have made their life easier by not being so fierce. He could have said, you know what, I'm not going to be fierce to them, but he was fierce, man. No matter, not him. And people try and forgive him and say, well, you know, he did advocate to abolish slavery. It's only because he weren't getting paid off it no more, man.
That's right.
It's like me. Right. It's like me if I work for it. If I work for a company and me and that company leave on bad terms, and someone signs petitions to get that company shut down, I'm gonna sign the petition, man. That's what he basically did. It's like, and then most of them, what you'll find is most of the slave masters that was for abolishing slavery, it's because they got ill. Some of them had strokes and realized this might be punishment from God. So they tried to kind of say, you know what, we don't want to die, so we're gonna do this. That's all it is. You read some of their journals and it says that.
Is that right, everyone?
Yep. I can't remember. I mean, it might be John Newton that it happened to. I know that one of them had a stroke. Yeah, he got shipwrecked or something. I can't remember what happened. Something happened, and he goes, maybe this happened because I'm treating these people evil. And then all of a sudden, he wanted to be an abolitionist. Everyone does it. When life's going hard, you tell God, listen, I'll never do this again. We've all been there. We've all done it. Please, God, if you ask him this, if you do this for me. Listen, years ago when they got arrested, and I was like, Lord, please let me get not guilty from this, and I'll never do this again. Listen, we've all been there. Stop right. The Lord, like, if you get me, I'm not guilty. Right? Like, it seems like we're basically trying to say to the Lord, if you do this for us, I will do this. Whereas we're supposed to be obedient anyway.
Right.
That's well, it's when you come before the Lord, you ain't supposed to come before him that way, like you have power over anything. Fall on your knees and beg the Lord, hey Lord, please deliver me from this situation, man. Don't make a bargain with the Lord like, if you deliver me from this, I'll do this. How about you do what the Lord tells you to do? And what you say, okay, so what you're saying is if the Lord don't deliver you, you're not going to do it. Is that what you're saying? So when you go before the Lord, man, you go before the Lord humbly. Like, I lucky Lord, man, I messed up. Whatever my punishment is, I pray it's not too severe. That's it, man. But so lucky, go ahead. Actually, was it that part?
Deuteronomy 28.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 49. And thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
And we have to serve our enemies, and our enemies is people like John Newton. And our enemies began to be fierce towards us. Go ahead.
God. In hunger and in thirst.
In what?
Hunger and in thirst.
In hunger and in thirst, meaning whatever you want, you have to go to them. You have to go to their businesses. They're calling the shots. Go ahead.
God. And in nakedness and in want of all things.
Good.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And they put yokes of iron upon your neck, covered your mouth so you couldn't eat no sugar cane. Go ahead.
Until he hath destroyed thee. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth.
And they came from the end of the earth. How you know they came from the end of the earth? Because they came from Europe, man.
Right.
When you look at how far those two countries are, those are far apart. One day, you know what? We're gonna get a map in the school so we can show you the whole route and put pins on. You know, they put pins on there. Listen, we get a proper geography class is coming real soon.
Can't say.
I'm gonna have the map. You know, the one you spin around. I'm gonna have the map. Anyway, listen, I ain't seen one of those in school. That's not
Me
good.
too. Yeah.
As swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as the eagle flies, eagles predators, and these oppressors came from the other end of the earth as fast as the eagle flieth. That was there once they heard, yo, we're gonna enslave these people and make money. Go ahead.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
And we didn't understand the language that they were speaking. Now, over time, we picked up the language. Go ahead.
A nation of fierce countenance.
A nation of what?
Fierce countenance.
A nation of fierce countenance. Read that part right there about John Newton, Hakian.
Quran Khan, never hesitant to inflict pain and suffering on human cargoes.
He was never hesitant, man, to inflict suffering and pain on human cargoes. Meaning this man's going to beat you for no reason. And that's what they do, man. Attack us and beat us for no reason. Go ahead.
His first slave voyage on the Brownlow was to prove a fiery baptism for a young slave trader. But when he later looked back on those events, Newton was more interested in describing his spiritual and moral struggles. Apart from profanity, which he had successfully abandoned, many of life's temptations continued to sweep over him as the ship sailed from Liverpool.
And why did the ship sail from Liverpool, Hakeem?
That's where the slaves was dropped off, right?
Nope. That's where the goods was dropped off the docks in Liverpool. So they'll drop the goods off in Liverpool. No, as in why was they coming from Liverpool? But that's where the docks was. So what you'll find out is England was a place where they used to believe England was so holy that they wouldn't have slaves here. But they did have slaves here, but they called them servants. So what you will see is black men that was servants in England, because there was black people in England at that time. So there's black men that was, carried with their masters to England, but they was considered servants and not slaves. So what you'll find out is a black man that was in England would look at a black man in the Caribbean as a slave and say, well, I'm a servant, he's a slave. When really, they just thought they could get around having a slave in England. So instead of calling it a slave, they just called it a servant. So that's what they do. So you'll do the same thing as a slave. You would make the dinner. You'll do everything. And what would happen is, if you didn't obey your slave master in England, they would threaten you with deportation, saying, well, we'll send you back to the Caribbean. And then you would believe, like, you know what? I own a slave master because my life could be worse. I could be in the Caribbean. And this is where black people get that thing from today, where they say things like, white people's done so much for me. And really, they haven't. So what you'll find is they'll threaten you with, we'll send you back to Jamaica if you misbehave. And then you'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna behave because I'd rather be in England than there. And then you start feeling like this slave master has done something for your life. And then guess what will happen? A man that was a slave in the Caribbean will speak to a man that was a servant in England and say to him, yo, the oppressor's the devil, man, look how he treats us. And the one from England will say, no, you can't say that. He gave me a chance at life. He allowed me to learn English. He allowed me to read. He allowed me to do this. And black people do it till this day. This is what they say. They say, oh, well, not all of them are the same because one of them gave me a job. The reason they can give you a job is because they stole what you should have had. Imagine it's like them. It's like there being a whole cake that was yours. Someone takes this whole cake and gives you a slice. And you'll be like, well, I can't say it's Eve because he gave me a slice of cake. He gave you a slice of what's yours anyway.
That's right.
You're supposed to have the whole cake. Don't ever say that they've done something good for you because they haven't, man.
That's right.
When you think they've done something good for you, they haven't. But the servants in England, they'll believe they've done something good for them. No. How about what? Why is it that they get to live like free men and you have to be a servant? It shows they've done nothing good for you, man. You're a servant, man. Don't let them lie to you and make you feel like, oh, they're treating you good when they're not. This is what they do. They treat you so bad, then one day they treat you good, and then you remember that one day they treated you good, and that's what you cling on to for the rest of your life. And then you work like a dog because you're hoping, oh, maybe they might treat me good again soon. Don't let them play you, man. This is what they'll do. They'll play you in that way. That's lucky. Go ahead, Hakan.
Khan, sir. Kadawan Khan. Newton was enticed by those brutish lusts by which I was once so long and deeply enslaved.
And he was motivated by them brutish lusts. He had lusts. What John Newton used to do was rape the little girls, man. That's what he used to do on the slave ship. He would see them come on the slave ship and he would eye them up and be like, all right, this one's my one. And that's what they all would do. And that was his brutish lust. He would do that. Then afterwards, he would hold a sermon and talk about God. That's what he would do straight after, which lets you know the God that they believe in allows them to do the things to you that they can't do to each other. Imagine all this time you're believing in white Jesus. White Jesus allows these things to happen to you on slave ships, man. He allows it. He allows it. How do you know how crazy you look? Imagine being a black man, going on your knees as a black man, and speaking to a white man, save me. When it's a white man doing you all the harm, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, how can a black man say to white Jesus, hey, white Jesus, man, life's hard, man. Come look out for you, nigga. You'll say to a white Jesus, yo, hey, look out for you, nigga. He ain't gonna look out for you, man. You falling on him is the reason why you're in that position. Like, imagine being a black man expecting a white man to save you. It's not gonna happen, man. Because if it was, it would have saved you a long time ago and you didn't.
Right.
So, Lucky, go ahead.
But the brutal business of slaving, Newton preferred not to mention.
See, so now this is talking about in his autobiography, a lot of the evil stuff he did, John Newton didn't want to mention it. So he left like a half biography of stuff that he wanted to leave out because he wanted to make out that it was reformed. So you read his autobiography, like John Newton weren't that bad, but then the men that was around him, they know that he was brutal. Go ahead. So this is why when you're reading accounts, you have to read this man's story. This man's story is like, go ahead.
Yeah, what's that famous saying? Well, history's like what they give you to the pen of, didn't it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So 100 years from now, you read about John Newton and think, oh, it's cool, wasn't that bad. He did the slavery. You read the people around him, so it's brutal. It's terrible.
Yeah, you read about John Newton and you think, nah, this was a good one. John Newton abolished slavery, but you won't hear about what he was doing to them young girls on the ship. That's Lucky, go ahead.
Kadawan Khan. And when he did, he tended to hide his own role behind the veil of religion.
He did what?
Hide his own role behind the veil of religious.
So he hid a lot of what he did behind religion. Go ahead.
However, we have an abundance of material.
We have a what?
Abundance of material.
So now if you read John Newton's autobiography, none of this stuff's in there. But people that was around at the time have an abundance of material of what John Newton did. Go ahead.
Which tells us in precise
Hold on, which one? Which tells us in precise detail. John Newton wrote his diary and tried to leave it out. He tried to leave out everything that he did and tried to make out like, yeah, I just worked on the ship. I just worked on there. But I didn't tell you what he was getting up to on there. But we have an abundance amount of material of what he did. So this is why when you read the slave master's autobiography, you read it and think, oh, this man's not that bad. This is what you need to do. Read history from his contemporaries.
That's right.
They will let you know what happened. Read the history from men that was amongst them. They will let you know what happened. Listen, it's like a boxer. A boxer don't tell you about his losses.
Yeah.
A boxer tells you about the fights he won. And then guess what he does about his losses? Makes an excuse. Oh, I was injured. I was injured. That's why I lost. Speak to his contemporaries and they'll say, no, you weren't injured. You just lost. And John Newton, he leaves all of that out and hides it behind a religion called Christianity that they want to force us to join. A religion that they want to force us to join.
Right.
Go on.
Khan. Imprint the detail what he did. In addition to his letters, sermons, and memoirs, we have the logbook of the slave ships he served on.
Oh, so now there's logbooks of slave ships that they served on, and on them logbooks, it has people's details. So now you see that how you have a card with a logbook. Back then, slave ships had logbooks. They would have people's numbers, so they would get rid of people's names, and you would have a number. So let's say you're number 50, and number 50 dies, they'll just scratch your name out. So they'll scratch your name out, and no one would even know. Your family wouldn't even know that you was number 50, because then it's like a job. Like if you've ever looked at a job on the back end, if you've ever been on the computer and you look at a job on the back end of the employees, it has numbers: employee number 50, employee number 51, and then when they fire you, employee number 51's contract terminated, and then when they sack you, guess what? Somebody else moves into that position. So even at work today, you're just a number. They don't know who you are. You're just a number. You're nothing special, and that's how it was back then. You're just a number. Lucky, go ahead.
Karawan Khan. There, in Newton's own hand, lies a full account of his days as a slaver.
Oh, and on them logbooks lies a full account of John Newton's days as a slaver. So this is records that he would have wished he could have burnt. He would have wished he could have burnt these records so we couldn't have them. Go ahead.
Karawan Khan. Newton's aim of sailing on the Brownlow was to gain experience for future ventures in the slave trade.
And do you know that men that was poor back then, white men that was poor back then that didn't have a job, guess what job they decided they wanted to do? Be a slave trader. So imagine they had no qualifications, but there was one job that was hiring, and that was to go over the sea and be a slave trader. That's the job that a lot of them would do. Ones that they have credentials, they'd end up saying, you know what, I'm not making no money. Let me be a slave trader. And John Newton was on this voyage, so he could get experience, man. Lucky, go ahead.
What's it like? So, can you break it down into a slave owner, slave trader, slaver?
So a slave trader is a man that trades the slaves, that purchases them and sells them on, gets them from Africa, brings them to wherever he's selling them. You don't
do himself. He owns the company.
Yeah, he just owns the company, and then there's a man that pays these lot to be on the ship. To basically, it's like a business. So you have a man that's got a ship. They'll have sailors, they'll have doctors, they'll have nutritionists, they'll have all these things on the ship. And then there's a man that insures the ships, and they all work together. So then they would go work for I think it's the Royal African Company. I think they're the Royal African Company where they would work with the Africans to get the slaves. They'd work with them to get the slaves. Then the traders would get the slaves. They would bring them to where they're selling them. Then the slave owner would buy them. Then they would become his property. And then the plantation owner would be him, or there could be a man that owns the slaves but he rents them out. So that's like, what do we call it today? What's the way we call it?
Like today, you have a man that sells the car parts, a mechanic that uses the car parts.
Yeah.
Delivery driver that drops off the car parts site. They all work for one company, but they do different parts.
Yeah. So everybody works together. And then a man that had slaves but no plantation, he would rent them out. What's that called when you work for a company and they subcontract you to somebody else? What's it called now? Agency. There's a man that had slaves in the agency, man. There's a man that had slaves, and listen, if this man's slaves was sick and he needed some workers, he'd phone his friend saying, yo, you see those 2 slaves you got? Let them come work for me. Them 2 slaves would go work for him. And then this slave master would give those men the wages, and they would take it back to the man that rented them out. So they would get paid off these slaves' hard work. And guess what? The agency does that today. You go and work for a subcontractor, and guess what? They only give you a grain of what they're really made of. Yeah, you do know if you do like certain jobs, agency, you do know a company probably pays like £50 an hour for you.
Yeah, I've asked it for.
See,
they wouldn't say how much you get paid. Told them, right?
See, for your hard work, they get £50 and you get £10. So they got £40.
Yeah. Break your amount.
Yeah. So what they'll do, they'll get £50 an hour off you, because this way sometimes you gotta listen to the companies, and the companies will say about the agency stuff, because I'm paying £50 an hour for them, and then you ask the agency stuff, yo, how much do you get? Oh, £11. So now your company is making £40 off you, and you're just getting £10. They used to do this all of this comes from slavery. That's how the system used to work.
Wow.
It's lucky. Go ahead, okay. Go this. Sorry, say that again.
Picture of John Newton.
Picture of John Newton. Yeah, there should be some on the net. Let me see if I can find it.
Have they got any pictures like of his slavery?
Pictures of slavery.
No, like his workers and things like that.
Hold on, let me get one. So this is the picture that they show of John Newton. Bear with me. Let's see if I can show it to the screen. So this is the picture that they show of him. So they show this picture of him, but when they show pictures of us, they show horrible mugshots. They show this man looking like a judge. They show him looking like a judge with the cloak, with the hair, and all of those kind of things.
I was quite shocked to see that actually.
You've seen this picture before, right?
No, I was just shocked to see how neat he
Yeah. That's how that's how they depict themselves like that. But if it's a picture of us, it's always a horrible mugshot. But when it comes to them, they have this picture where this picture makes him look civil. Like you would see this man and you'd walk past him, no problem. And they program you to see a black man and be scared. Whereas this man's done more damage than any black man could ever do. He's done more damage than any black man in this earth could ever do. But then he's depicted like this as a hero. This is what they do. They say, oh, John Newton changed his life and give him a second chance. If John Newton gets a second chance for all the evil that he done, I want them to free every black man from jail tomorrow. Right. Then, if they're going to do that, that means every black man, they need to free them from jail right now and give them a second chance who's done way less than John Newton.
Talking about Iran hit him as well.
Oh, did he say?
That's the question.
Oh, you what did he say?
He said, so I'm talking about Egypt. Where are the real Egyptian people today?
Oh, the real Egyptians was pushed out to Sudan. So if you go to places like Sudan, those tall, horrible Hamites, that's where they are now. So they got pushed out to Sudan. And then after that, the Byzantine Empire was running Egypt. Then after that, the Arabs conquered Egypt, kicked the Byzantine Empire out. And that's why there's Arabs in Egypt today. So that's how it all transpired. So the real Egyptians is somewhere in Sudan. So hold on, let me type in Sudanese. Let me type in Sudanese people. It will show you a picture of how they look. So this is how they look now, like this. So these are the people that would be like the original Egyptians and so forth. Not the Arabs that you see in Egypt. Obviously, the Arabs have been there since what's that? I can't remember his name. I think his name was something Muhammad that defeated the Byzantine Empire, and then obviously they started moving into Egypt. And what you'll find is everywhere them Arabs went is everywhere the Byzantine Empire went. So what is that? They're a personal hatred for them because they wanted something like the Bible. Bear with me. Let me remove that. Slaki, go ahead, Hakan.
Karawan Khan, he sailed back to the scene of his recent. Hold on, Salakia. All in all, the hope that he could make enough money to win the hand of Mary Catlett.
So now John Newton became a slave owner, so he could propose to this woman, a woman that he wanted to marry. He wanted to make enough money and show her, look, man, I'm doing something. So he became a slave owner, so he could propose to his woman. And that's why he became a slave owner. Go ahead. So imagine this, all because he wants a wife, you have to go through hell because he wants a wife. Go ahead.
It proved a difficult voyage. He sailed back to the scene of his recent humiliation, Plantain Island. He revisited P.I., his tormentor, not Salakia, hold on, Salakia. It proved a difficult voyage. He sailed back to the scene of his recent humiliation, Plantain Island. He revisited P.I., his tormentor, not so long ago, and he found himself again lured by what he described as a rain of temptations. He fell ill. He clearly succumbed to his enticements, almost certainly sexual involvements.
Almost certainly sexual involvements. So that's him. He fell to his temptations. He was always forcing himself upon the women on them ships, man. Go ahead.
So like you said, just their history. So, you know, when they like to say, you know, because the majority of white people on you know, in England or wherever is the reason why there's so much, you know, they're the majority of the crime. This proves obviously opposite, because they were doing it well before we was around anyway. Or when it was more was more populated, right?
As in, what you mean?
Right. For example, I mean, like they're proving that they're sexual deviances. They're proving it here from way back.
They've been that way from the Greeks, so they've always been that way. But then what they do is they blame everybody else. So now they will blame the Asian grooming gangs, which is completely wrong. But they need to also blame John Newton as well, man.
That's right.
They need to say, yo, the same way we mad at these East Indians for the grooming gangs, we have to be mad at John Newton that was a groomer, but they hold him in high esteem. So this is why when you meet an Edomite, ask them, was John Newton a good Christian? And chances are they're probably going to say yes, and then you just reel off what he did. Ask them, does it still make him a good Christian? And they're probably going to say no. And then you say to them, well, what John Newton follows is what every Christian back then followed, man. All those Christians back then, he was closer to Christianity back then. They was doing everything that John Newton was doing. They used to attack women and then have a sermon on top of the ship, like nothing happened. Used to like even a black man will say things like, I can't read the Bible today because I know I'm doing something wrong. A black man will have a conscience, like, I can't do it. These like have no conscience. These like will force themselves on a woman and then we'll read scriptures like nothing happened, which shows how little regard they care about us. We was like animals to them. To them, we're like, you see how you see a fly in your house and you kill it. That's how they see us. They see us as just a fly. God don't care about them. That's how they see us. And that's why they treat us the way they do. So, go ahead.
Kadawan Khan. Sailors at the sea for months on end made the most of the opportunities available on land. And Newton seems to have been no different from men around him.
See, it says John Newton was no different from men around him. Meaning the slave masters around him, John Newton was the same as them. The slave traders around him, John Newton was the same as them.
Right.
It seemed no different to the men around him. So don't make out like, yeah, John Newton's a good man. Not according to history, he's not. So go ahead.
Kadawan Khan, by the time his ship had reached the Gold Coast, where most of its African victims were taken on board.
So now it said it had met the Gold Coast. So let's see the Gold Coast. Let's do the Gold Coast. Let me see if it tells me.
The Gold Coast, is it?
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can pull up the region of the Gold Coast. Let me see if it gives me a good map. No, it's not giving me one. Hold on, let me see if I can. Let me look at a 1600s map if I can find one. Let me see if this will give me a good one. Actually, hold on.
Yeah, the coast, sorry. In the winter space, it's hot. We try 3 years, boys.
Wait a minute. You can keep reading that for now, Hakim. I'm just trying to find.
Kadawan Khan, sir. Where most of his African victims were taken on board, Newton confessed, I seem to have forgotten all the Lord's mercies.
See? Hold on, wait a minute. You know, I can't. Let me just use the one that I had. I can't see it on here, but it should be on some should be on somewhere here. All right, so if you look at this is a where is that scrolling now? Hold on. So here is a map. So what you'll find out is a lot of these places we was taken from. So if you look on there, you can see Gold Coast is where is it now? I've just seen it on there. You can see Negro Land. So that's where we was. We was in between. See, can you see the Gold Coast at the bottom? Can you see the Slave Coast as well?
Can
Next
you
to
come
Benin.
in? You come in a little bit more, the one.
Yeah. Can you see the cursor on the screen?
Yeah, I can see that bit. Yeah, but
There's Benin. If you look there, there's
Benin. It says Benin, right?
yeah, there's Benin, and there's the Slave Coast,
Okay.
and there's the Gold Coast.
Okay.
So now what you'll find is we was in between. So here's the Gold Coast, here's Benin. We was in between these nations here. So these nations here was rounding us up and selling us.
Oh.
So then you'll see on another map. Hold on, let me see if I can get another map.
So basically, so as soon as he saw our sisters, all the Lord's mercies and what he done before just left him. He just carried on being a sexual deviant.
Yep. And he saw them and was like, yeah, and then that's exactly what he did. So now, you know what? I can't, for some reason, hold on, let me go to, hold on. Hold on, let me get another Slave Coast. So like you read this for me.
The kingdom of Wida was a kingdom on the coast of West Africa in what is now Benin. It was a major slave trading area which exported more than 1 million Africans to the United States, the Caribbean, and Brazil.
So now, you see that kingdom of Wida right there?
Yeah.
Really, that is the kingdom of Judah. That's what it's called. The kingdom of Judah. So Wida means Judah. So they knew who there was enslaving. So they knew there was in enslaving the Jews. So it was called the kingdom of, obviously Wida, but it's the kingdom of Judah. So if you look, hold on. Wait a minute, maybe if I find a different one, we're going to type in the kingdom of Judah. It might come up. Actually, this is saying the same thing, but yeah, the kingdom of Wida is hold on. Let me see. This might give me what I'm looking for. Hold on. Oh, this ain't letting me zoom in. Bear with me. Oh no, this ain't letting me zoom in. It's too small. I'm gonna just order the map one day. I'll probably do it that way. But yeah, the kingdom of Wida is the kingdom of Judah. So all of that is by the Gold Coast and so forth. So you can find out who these people was, who they was taking, and it lets you know those taking people from the slave coast. So that's why you got the Benin Bronzes. Why? Because we was around those Hamites. So we was sandwiched in between them. We had a few kingdoms in West Africa. And then what you'll find out is once we went into slavery, them kingdoms disintegrated into nothing. That's why you don't have them kingdoms there no more. You don't have. I believe you don't have the slave coast there no more because obviously they got rid of all the slaves that was there. So like, you go ahead.
So other one. So all of those. So there's people there in Guinea. Is that Guinea-Bissau or Guinea? Is that the same thing?
Yes.
Oh, so the people that are some of the people that are from Guinea-Bissau are Israelites, sir?
No. Israelite could never be a Hamite. So now what you will have is you have a remnant of us everywhere. But when you mention Guinea as a whole, no, the Hamites. So the same way you have a remnant of obviously in Ethiopia, because black people like to migrate and move certain places, then you might have a few people there, but not the whole place would be Israelites.
Right. Okay. Right.
So yeah, for the most part, the Hamites.
Okay.
Yeah, like England, in England, not everyone's an Israelite in England.
Oh, okay. Can't I get you, sir?
Yeah, we just sporadic in a few places wherever we are. So that's lucky. Go ahead.
Karan Khan. His first slave voyage on the Brownsville was. That's lucky, sir. Next one, sir. Next slide. Yeah, Khan. While most accounts and eyewitnesses found the sexual violation of enslaved women too delicate a subject to describe in detail, Equiano.
So now Equiano. So now this is going back to the brother that was reading about 2 weeks ago. See, so most of the slave masters, they wouldn't describe it, but he described it. Go ahead.
Karan Khan. Equiano confronted it head on.
Equiano confronted it head on. He spoke about it. Go ahead.
As he helped to process the newly arrived Africans in Montserrat, Equiano recorded regular incidents of sexual attacks on African women.
So we know those Israelites, but he recorded what he saw and what happened. Whereas if you look at the slave master's journal, he won't record a lot of the stuff that happened. He will leave it out. So some of the slave masters were smarter than others. Some left everything in their records. Some omitted a lot of stuff out of their records, and then you have to go to other sources to find out what they was doing.
Karan Khan. It was, he wrote, almost a constant practice with our clerks and other whites.
A constant practice, man. Meaning they done this all the time. It was normal. It was a constant practice. Weren't no one-off. It was constant. Go ahead.
Salakia. And other whites to commit depredations on the chastity of the female slaves.
Yes, I mean, they would do some horrible acts to them sisters, man. They would do horrible acts, and they didn't want to document it. But Equiano, he knows what was going on, so he documented it in his journal. Go ahead.
He could do nothing to stop them. When the Africans were shipped to other islands or to North America, Equiano testified that sailors would commit these acts most shamefully to the disgrace, not of Christians only, but of men.
He's saying, yo, you should be ashamed to do these things as a Christian. Furthermore, you should be ashamed to do these things as a man. That's what he was saying. And imagine that's what these Christians was doing. These Christian men, and this is the things that they was doing. So how can you do that to my great-grandmother and then tell me to join your religion? Maybe I would have joined your religion if you didn't do that to my great-grandmother, man. But now I know that what your religion's about, I can't join it, man. Every black man and woman should leave Christianity because this is what Christians do, man. Well, this is what them Christians did, man. This is the spirit of Christianity.
That's right.
The spirit of Christianity is violent and all of those kind of things. Yeah. Whereas when you look at Christianity, there's two versions. There's the white man's version and black people's version. Black people's version is the one that's not the correct form of Christianity. That's right. The white man's version got him wealth, money, countries, gets him everything. The version of Christianity that he gave you is turn the other cheek and don't defend yourself. But then he's telling you don't defend yourself, but England's a Christian country, and look how much times England's gone to war as a Christian country. That's right. Why don't England say, yo, we're a Christian country, the whole country's turning the other cheek? I don't hear that. I hear England say, yo, you do this, we're declaring war on you, man. I don't hear England telling Ukraine turn the other cheek and God will sort out Russia. I don't hear England saying that. I see England saying, sorry, say that again.
Give them,
exactly. To give them military aid, man. Why don't England say, nah, this is a Christian country, turn the other cheek? England's giving Ukraine military aid. That don't sound like turning the other cheek to me. That's right. Which lets you know the Christianity that they gave you is different to the Christianity that they follow. Right. That's lucky. Go ahead.
I have even known them gratify their brutal passions with females not even
go ahead.
10 years old.
Females not even 10 years old. That's what these Christian men was doing. Next time you listen to Amazing Grace, remember that, man. Remember, he didn't give those girls that weren't even 10 years old more mercy. You remember that next time you listen to Amazing Grace. Go ahead.
At times, the sexual violence was so extreme that the ship's captain discharged the men involved.
So it was that bad that even the captain, a devil on the ship, was like, "Yo, this is too brutal, man." He's saying, "Yo, what you doing, man? This is too brutal." Because the captain, he knows, "Yo, we need to sell these people, and if you're doing this to them, imagine you're about to sell these people, and these lot are doing this to them." He had to discharge some of the men, meaning some of the men got fired from their job because that was a job. To be a slave trader was a job. Go ahead.
Equiano's account was designed to shock, but it was no more propaganda. There are plenty of other sources not published at the time.
Said it's not propaganda. It said there's plenty of other sources that wasn't published at the time, because at that time nobody wanted to speak about it, but he spoke about it in his journal. At the time, remember, at the time when Equiano died, it was about what, 1700s. So at the time, not a lot of people knew this, but over time, people would come out and speak about their atrocities. People would speak about the stories that their grandfather told them and whatnot. They'll start documenting all of it. So now there's tons of sources. Go ahead.
And not designed to horrify the reading public, which tell the same tale. As we have seen, John Newton recorded the rape of an African woman on board the African.
Newton recorded the rape of obviously saying African, which is an Israelite. I have to keep reiterating that in case someone's came on late and thinking we're talking about Africans. Recorded that because that's where we was dwelling. Go ahead.
Do you want me to change it from African to Israel?
No. Read it verbatim. Read it verbatim. Because what will happen is some troll will come on and say it doesn't say Israelite, it says African. So just read it verbatim. So go ahead.
African woman on board the African in his log in 1750. Did that 3 or 8 other one? So I can't.
17. That looks like 58.
58. Yeah. Okay. Newton never forgot Thawada. Newton never forgot the horrors visited upon African women on the slave ships.
Newton never forgot the horrors. He's the reason for the horrors, man. How can he talk about it? Listen, how about the victims never forget the horrors, man?
That's right.
Imagine now he's making out he's the victim when he's the one doing the stuff. And that's what these oppressors do, man. They do something and try and make out like they're not the problem. Newton never forgot the horrors. What about the woman that went through the horrors, man?
Right.
He's making out like this is about him. He's the one inflicting the horrors on these people, man. And now he's making it about him.
What horrors? He the jointer?
Exactly. Now he's claiming like later in his life, when he found God, he can't forget them horrors. Listen, man, John Newton, if you can't forget them horrors, imagine how the women feel that you actually done the things to, man. What about them? That's what I'm saying. He's making everything about himself. Go ahead.
Kadwan Khan, in his thoughts upon the African slave trade of 1788, he described how the next slide, if I can, sir, women and girls were loaded on board, frightened, naked, and exhausted.
They was frightened and naked. Why? Because they would strip them and check them, get them to jump and cough, and to see if anything was wrong with them. Go ahead.
They were eyed by the crew.
The crew would look at them because obviously they're naked. The crew's looking at them and they're saying, "Yo, I'm going to deal with this one, this one, this one," and that's what they would do. The crew was eyeing them up, whereas all they were supposed to do was take them and enslave them. Now they started carrying out all their sexual pleasures on them when that was never supposed to happen, man. Slavery is one thing, but what these lot done is they can't be forgiven for this, man. They have to be punished by Jesus Christ, who is a black man when he returns.
That's right.
Listen, man, you think all of this happened and God didn't? You think all of this happened and God didn't see? You think God didn't hear the screams of those women? You think God didn't hear the screams of those women? The day's coming when the Lord's gonna answer those cries and those prayers. All these Edomites walking around thinking that it and they've been forgiven and they hide themselves from Christianity. You're gonna realize in that day, man, that this religion ain't stopping you from what the Lord's got in store for you, man.
That's right.
The Lord's got in store for you, your religion. I know you're trying to hide behind your religion. You can't, man. It's not gonna work. So
that's right. They were eyed by the crew. In imagination, the prey is divided upon the spot, and only reserved opportunity offers.
The prey is divided upon the spot. Spell the word pray.
P-R-E-Y, sir.
That's what I'm saying. That's the kind of praying on us that they do. And the praying that we do is P-R-A-Y. So we do P-R-A-Y to white Jesus, and they do P-R-E-Y on us, man. Listen, we do us and white people do two different type of prayer.
Right.
We're doing two different type of praying. The praying that they work is the one when they plotting on you, man. The praying that you're doing is to get them to love you. Imagine this man's praying on you to kill you, and you're praying to white Jesus for them to love you. Listen, man. You're gonna lose, man. They ain't gonna love you. So lucky, go ahead.
So lucky, yeah, Khan. And only reserved to opportunity offers, where resistance or refusal would be utterly in vain.
And only reserved to opportunity offers where resistance or refusal would be utterly in vain.
So no, you know what city he's from? Just out of curiosity.
John Newton.
Yeah.
I can't remember. You know, wasn't he from? Is it Lancaster or Lancashire or Liverpool or one of them? It might be from one of them, from what I remember. But now it goes that where resistance or refusal would be utterly in vain, meaning they couldn't refuse, they couldn't stop it. It's in vain. Them tears. Guess what? Here it says utterly in vain, but like I said, they have to answer to the Lord one day, man. It may seem like it's in vain, but it's not. Go ahead.
So like you said, you know that picture I sent you, is it allowed to be shown to see their you know, their this is what's gonna happen to them when the time comes?
Nah, we're probably gonna get flagged for that.
Oh, okay, no sweat.
No. Listen, we already been on a ban. So lucky. So now it says that now we've their cries was in vain, meaning they couldn't stop what was about to behold them, what was going to happen to them. They couldn't stop what was going to happen to them because obviously these oppressors have a fierce countenance and they're in charge. And there's nothing you can do to stop them. It's like the army coming into your house and saying, yo, this is going to happen. How can you stop them? They've got all the weapons and the government and everything behind them, and you have nothing. And these women had nothing. All they could do is know what was happening to them was wrong and cry, and that was all they could do. Lucky, go ahead.
Khan, everyone involved in the world of Atlantic slavery, from the captains of the ships through to the slave owners in the Americas and the British-based shippers, all of them, measured in their thousands, were lured to the world of Atlantic slavery by the hope of profit.
And they came there because they wanted profit, man. They went there because they wanted money. And that's why they became slave owners and slave traders and worked on them ships. Why? Because they was there for money. Go ahead.
Khan, today, this seems obvious. But what is surprising, perhaps, is that few of them seem to have any moral, religious qualms about what they were doing.
Wait, say that, read that again.
Khan. But what is surprising, perhaps, is that few of them seem to have any moral or religious qualms about what they were doing.
It shows that is okay in Christianity because all of them was there, and it says that they didn't have no religious qualms about what they was doing. Not one man stood up and said, what you're doing is wrong with Christians, we can't do that. Nobody stood up and said that. And there was all Christians, and they agreed to do whatever they was doing. Go ahead.
Khan. Few saw anything wrong or unacceptable in their own behavior.
Few saw anything wrong or unacceptable. Wow. I can't join a religion that allows you to rape my grandmother and great grandmother.
That's right.
I can't join that religion. They didn't see nothing wrong. They didn't see nothing wrong with it. So I can't join that religion. You know, I can't join that religion because I see something wrong with it.
That's right.
That religion's not for me, man. I see something wrong with it, so I can't ever be a Christian.
Right.
If none of them had religious qualms and it wasn't wrong, how can I now join that religion? Like, while it is, I need to speak to one of these Edomites. I need to sit down with an Edomite to ask him about. I need to sit down with a proper Christian Edomite, like a smart one. I ain't even gonna battle him on the scriptures. I need to ask him about what's right morally and wrong morally.
Yeah.
I need to ask him, if you was there back then, would you partake in this? Would you have stopped it? Of course, he's gonna lie and say he would have stopped it. I'm gonna ask him, was the good Christians or bad Christians? And I guarantee you, he's gonna say the bad Christians. And I'm gonna say to him, that doesn't. I'm gonna say to him, they follow Christianity closer than you do, man. Because listen, England is a Christian country. I guarantee you, which means if England's a Christian country, and that's what they was doing, that means the whole country was okay with it, man. Because it's a Christian country. So now, if any white Christian tells you that he disagrees with this, ask him what church does he go. And there you go. That means he don't believe what his church believes. Because why? Ask him, was that form of Christianity wrong? And if he says yes, that means he's going against what England believes, man. Because as long as I can remember, England's been a Christian country. So now, I'm asking him, so are all them Christians in hell for what they did? I guarantee he's going to say, no, Christianity is a dumb religion. So you mean to say a man can rape as much women as he wants and still go to heaven? Christianity is stupid, man.
So like you, sir, and just to add to that, sir, you know, just how they treat black women anyway around the world. They don't care about our women. So it was always all right back then, and in their eyes now, it's all right still now, because all over the world, our women are getting raped, murdered, and everything, and no one's getting held and found guilty for it, even now, today.
Yeah, for real. Listen, you get, like I said, you harm black people, you get away with it. There's no repercussions or nothing, but one day there will be repercussions.
Right.
Why you saying deep? Because the new Netflix show, innit? What's it called? Adolescent. And when they asked him, man, why did you make it? He said, I said, because I got reading newspaper, I saw a girl get stabbed by a boy. I had to make a film about it, and I thought, hold on. So a girl get stabbed by a boy, he had to make a movie about it. Meanwhile, black people get stabbed every day. And he didn't urge him to make a movie or nothing. Like, our lives don't mean anything. Black people get stabbed. When the news from the 90s to today, it's what black people do. And why he get stabbed? He makes a movie about it. I couldn't believe it.
And that's what adolescence is about.
Yeah, he saw a girl get stabbed by a boy. Then he read the paper again, saw another one. And he got make a drama about this to bring awareness. We get stabbed, they make movies glorifying it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They make Top Boy and what's the next one? Intent 2.
Yeah.
So when it comes to these other nations, they get sad documentaries and they get their best picture put up there with us. They put our worst picture, put the mugshot up there. They put a picture of you in a night tech tracksuit with the hood up. And then I don't know if I read the comments I do on the internet. So you see people in the comments say things like, oh, he was only going to be a doctor. And they're being sarcastic. Oh, he was only going to be a lawyer. And that's what white people say.
That's
So
true.
now, when something happens to white people, I'm in them comments the same way, man. I'm in them comments like, oh, he was only going to be a doctor. I'm in the comments like, deport him. One white boy committed a crime, was in the comments like, deport him. Someone's like, oh, deport him to where he's from, England. I was like, hold on, but black people that are born in England, you say deport them. So that's what I'm saying. Make it make sense.
That's true.
Say, you know, England's racist, man. Any crime we do, deport them. That's what they put in the comments. Deport them. It lets you know that you ain't. They know you're not English.
And
Slacky, go ahead.
And to add to that as well, I coming down on the tube, right, and on the advertising billboard, right, going down the escalators, they got gangs in London, right, with a black man holding the gun, you know. Yeah. When it was them that you done the class on it, it was them, man, that was the gangsters doing the gang stuff before we was even here, sir. So like,
exactly. And that's why in our kingdom we're gonna police them, man. We're gonna police them, and guess what's gonna happen when we police them? They ain't gonna rape nobody, man, because we're policing everything. They ain't gonna kill nobody. They ain't gonna enslave nobody. They ain't gonna do nothing. Listen, they ain't gonna move nothing, man. Listen, like Big said in Shutters, man. If you saw one, what they say, one nick, what they say, you saw what? You go, can't be listen, man. Listen, they ain't gonna do nothing, man. We're gonna police them, man. Every single thing that they do, we're gonna police every single thing that they do. And that's how you have to live amongst these people. You have to police their every move. Because if you don't, they're going to kill someone. They're going to go shoot up a school. They're going to go harm someone. And that's just what they do. They're designed to do these things. In them, they're designed to do these things. Lucky, go ahead.
Okay, so did you hear about the white boy who killed his sister because she was annoying him?
Damn.
I can't believe it. She was annoying and he killed her.
Is the one with the shotgun that killed his mum as well?
I'm not sure about that. It might be. I don't know.
I think there was one that killed his siblings, and he said he wanted to kill. I don't even know. He said he wanted to kill 30. He had 30 cartridges and said he was going to a school to kill 30 kids. He wanted to be the greatest UK school shooter of all time. He said.
Oh my God! And they said, and they want to make us look bad and make us look mad and crazy.
Well, it's with him. I don't know his nationality. I need to look closer before I say anything. Get me look kind of. I don't even know what he is, but we're about to find out. We're about to find out what he is. I'll probably cover that next week. But Salaki, go ahead.
Yes, sir. It was quite simply an unquestioned, widely accepted, morally neutral form of trade which yielded profits for some and pleasure for millions.
And for some, it was pleasure for millions. They got pleasure by doing this. Imagine there was all Christians and they agreed that slavery was right. All of them were Christians and they agreed enslaving black people was right. So what makes you think that they're going to respect you in their religion like 400 years later? They don't respect you in their religion, man. They gave you Christianity white, so they knew that, all right, then, if we give them white Jesus, they won't ever attack us. Because when they see white Jesus, they're going to see us. So that's why what you'll find that is black people that are Christians near enough worship Edomites, man. Why? Because they see Jesus is white so much that when you tell them Jesus is black, they can't accept it because they believe that it's been white for so long that if you tell them it's black now, it ruins their life. They don't want to be worshipped. I mean, they look down on black people. They don't want to be believing in no black Jesus. They've been taught nothing good comes from black people. So when you tell them Jesus is black, they'll be like, nah, Jesus could never be black, man. Nothing good comes from black people. How can the greatest man on the earth be black? How can the greatest man that ever lived be black? So they would rather live in that lie and Jesus is white. Jesus can't be black because if he's black, now they would have to do what? Leave that religion that they've been lied to in. First of all, the Bible says Christ is black. All the archaeology says Christ is black. Listen, man, you can look up Spanish manuscripts. They called Christ black. Look up Byzantine art. Christ was black. Catacomb art. Christ was black. All of those things you'll see that Christ was black, and then Christ didn't start becoming white until like the Renaissance period, until like the 1600s. And that's the images that they show you, and they let you run with those images. And people believe, yeah, this is Jesus. Lucky, go ahead.
If I may, sir, Jeremiah 16:19 says, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies.
And this is what happens. You devils come from the ends of the earth, man. And you say, surely our fathers have inherited lies. Because why? You was taught by your father that you're a Jew. You was taught by your father that Christ is white. You was taught by your father that you're God's chosen people.
Right.
And then now, the history's coming out that you're not God's chosen people. The history's coming out now that God can't stand you. The history's coming out that God don't like you. Now the history's coming out. Now you're finding out. You thought God loved you. Now you're realizing God don't love you.
Right.
Now you're realizing the people that God does love, you've been abusing them. So you're going to come over realizing you've inherited lies. Go ahead.
Khan. Vanity and things wherein is no profit.
And you're going to come over realizing everything that you believe was vanity and in things that therein was no profit, man. You're going to come to the children of God and you're going to bow down before us. Go ahead.
Right. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face.
Listen, man, everything that John Newton done on that shit that he hid from his autobiography, he ain't hid from the Lord's face, man.
That's right.
John Newton thought, there's no such thing as cameras, man. No one ain't going to know what I'm doing. John Newton's dead and gone, and guess what? His records are still here of what he done.
Right.
Them logbooks are still here, and the witness accounts still here of what he done, man. We talking about them today. Listen, John Newton ain't getting no peace from us, man.
Right.
Listen, where did they play Amazing Grace? Is it funerals?
Yeah.
It's mainly funerals, isn't it? Exactly. Imagine black people been slaves their whole life, and then you take them out in their coffin to another slave, them listening to a slave song. There's Amazing Grace. What's the next one, man, that they play at funerals? Another hymn. What's the other hymn? There's another one. I can't remember what his name is. There's another one. How is it? How great thou art? Who sings that one? Who's that? That's the main one you see at every funeral. Jamaica's got their own version to that. Yeah, the Jamaican, they got their own version to how great thou art. Listen, I've heard that so much. I started to like it at one stage. So lucky. Go ahead, Hakeem.
Qadwan Khan. Neither is there iniquity hid from my eyes.
Neither is there iniquity hid from the Lord's eyes. Everything that John Newton and them did, it's not hid from the Lord's eyes, man.
That's right.
There's gonna be paid. Don't think you're gonna do things and get away with it. The Lord will get you in this life or the next one. So I want to know how John Newton feels when we put him on the slave ship and ship him off to. Hold on, get me that and them Hamites that sold us as well. I want to know how they feel when we put them on ships and ship them across the world, man. So you know what? Yeah, you're going over there. I need some money. I want to know how they feel because they done that to us with no mercy, without no remorse. So I hope they never get the Benin Bronzes back. I hope they never get them back, man. Listen, I'm going to the museum to do a TikTok on the Benin Bronzes, man.
Yeah,
What do you say before Passover?
I'm ready.
We can do it. Yeah, we go there. Listen, I've been meaning to go to that museum. I think I'm going to spend at least. Listen, I'm going to be in my element in the museum. I guarantee you, the devils in the museum are going to look at. They're going to think, why are these young men so interested in a museum? And then they're going to see the video online and be like, oh, we should have never let them in. We should have never let them in.
That's right.
So I'm telling you, a prayer don't move that red rope. You know that red rope when you can't get behind. Listen, if you hear the alarms going off, just mind your business. It's me getting a closer look at all the artifacts in there. I'm going to the museum to see what belongs to me in that museum. All our records are there, man. I'm going in that museum. They got all the Bible scrolls, everything in there. You see the scrolls and everything. They're all in that museum.
Really?
Yeah, they got them in there. They got the remnants of certain books in there. So they got scrolls and everything in there. So yeah, you'll see all of that in there. But while it is, because us as a people, museums ain't really our thing. So we don't really go to museums, so we won't know what's in there. But when we go to that museum, we're gonna see a lot of our stuff in there. So I'm gonna go there and let people know what's ours and what's not. Especially a lot of biblical stuff. They got a lot of biblical stuff in them.
Wow.
If you're gonna see the Bible scrolls, you gotta go to the museum. So like, you go ahead.
Would you be angry, other one, or upset if I went there tomorrow?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
All right, I'm not going.
Listen, wait up. Listen, we all going there. Listen, we all going there. Don't worry, we're going there.
All right, I'm gonna wait, sir. Sir.
We're gonna go there. We're gonna get some great footage. We might even do a whole documentary. Like, we might not do videos, like a whole documentary.
Yeah,
see how persons do documentaries on museums and artifacts.
Yeah.
We're gonna go do a whole documentary on the thing. Forget that.
Yeah. What you say, if I may, sir, you saying before Passover?
I'm hoping so. How much weeks we got before Passover?
3.
Yeah, we could do it. You know, yeah, we can do it. We can do it.
Should I get the camera and then I'll get the camera.
Listen, get all of that. Get the camera.
Everything. Yeah.
I need to order some glasses. So I got, you know the cameras that the people be doing pranks with.
Yeah.
Have you seen the glasses that they be doing? Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go get those. So that way, once we chop the videos like from plenty of different angles.
Heavy.
So yeah. For our whole documentary. Listen,
heavy.
I'm gonna name it artifacts that belongs to us.
Heavy.
So there might be.
Sorry, say that again.
Needing cameras, you might have to think about that as well.
Yeah, no. And I think some places they don't let you in the camera as well.
Yeah, you have to
Is it?
I'm gonna have the camera on my glasses. Yeah, I'm gonna find out where you can record and then where you can't record. I'm trying to record the whole thing. I'm telling you, they're gonna have to kick me out of there. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be in there for hours.
Do you want me to go and check it out first if you want? Then see what I can, in case recording, and I could kind of let you know.
Listen, you ain't checking nothing out without me. So I'll check it out myself. So I can try to get up in there, I can get any excuse to go.
I'm itching, but now I'm gonna disappear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to be there ASAP. I might do it as soon as possible because I realize if we say we're going to do it and we don't get there, it's probably never going to happen. So probably going to have to lock in the day and go on that date. Yeah, I'm trying to go there ASAP. Was we finished on this slide? Actually, yeah, we're up on the time. We'll be here tomorrow with the scripture breakdown with Captain Karafia. For Waterford, logging in Israel, clap it up. We're up on the time. Salaki Hakim, you can call it because we're up on the time.
Karon Khan, men of Israel, Amadim. Amadim Shabbat. Amadim. Barak. Yahweh Bashima Ushai Bakata.
Yahweh Shemi Shabakafam.
Yajimata. Sa, which means turn to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amadim. Amadim Shabbat. Amadim. Barak. Yahweh Shema Ayatah Shema Ushai.
So then just repeat Yahweh. Shema. I do it. Okay,
Yahweh. Shema. Ayatah. Ba Hashem. Yahushai, which means God, Jesus Christ, watch over me. That is Matah. Walking and dismissed.
All right, for Wada again, Hakayan, for Wada Israel, Shalom Israel, we see here. We're going to do part 2 next week. We didn't even get halfway in. Shalom Israel. And Hakayan, listen, Hakayan, we never ever finished them. I noticed.
I know. I want to talk to you anyway, if you don't mind.